Welcoming to the ice, Sharks legend, Patrick Marleau. Sharks general manager, Mike Greer. Sharks president, Jonathan Becker. Dan's wife, Karen Dunn. And our very own Dan Rusanowsky. And now, please welcome Sharks President Jonathan Becker.
Welcome, everyone. We're here to celebrate a San Jose Sharks legend for receiving the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award. The award is given annually to a radio or television broadcaster for outstanding contributions to the game of hockey. Congratulations, Dan. It's definitely exciting to have another member of the Sharks family be recognized by the Hockey Hall of Fame. But I have a funny feeling he's not going to be the last one. We've been very fortunate to be able to listen to Dan's calls for the entire history of the Sharks franchise. His passion for the game of hockey, his love for all things Sharks, but even more importantly, his commitment to the San Jose community and his love of you, the Sharks fans, are unparalleled. Dan is the true embodiment of the spirit of Teal Together. It seems like everyone's got a Dan story. Mine, years ago, before I joined the franchise, I was in Dubai for a business trip. I got up early to listen to Dan call a Sharks game, and I thought I was in my temporary office by myself, so I had the game on a laptop computer. In the middle of the first period, a guy I never met before walked into my office and looked at me puzzled and said, "You're not Dan Rusanowsky." He'd heard Dan's voice because he was originally from San Jose, and even though he'd been in Dubai for nearly 15 years, he recognized that voice. Dan in Dubai, now that's a Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Dan. And thank you for everything you've done for the Sharks and for the game of hockey. Let's give him another round of applause.
Right side of Osgood, he plays it, he tries to shoot it, he gives it away, Baker shoots, score! The Sharks lead it 3-2. But trailing the play, Makarov has it in the offensive zone. Centering play, score! Ray Whitney deflects the shot. The Sharks are going to Detroit for the second round of the playoffs as the entire Sharks bench comes out to mob Ray Whitney. It's Thornton moving up ice with Marleau. Thornton to Marleau, shoots, he scores! He scores! Patrick Marleau gets the game winner. And he shoots right on net, save made, rebound, Marleau, score! Patrick Marleau does it again! He scores the series winner in overtime. Tierney protected, giving to Donskoy behind the nets, turning, shooting, score! Jonas Donskoy! 7:42 left to go in overtime, and the kid from Finland snaps one past Murray to give the Sharks life in the Stanley Cup final. Shot blocked again, batted at toward the net, blocked, score! Logan Couture batted one out of the air, down low, and got it through, and the Sharks tie it up 2-2 with 6 seconds left in the second period. Barclay Goodrow gets around the defense, shoots, he scores! Barclay Goodrow is the hero for the Sharks in overtime in Game 7. The Sharks were down by 3 goals. They came back, they took the lead, and then, after Vegas tied it, Barclay Goodrow is the big man on campus. Sharks win 5-4, and they win the series in 7.
Please welcome the 2023 Foster Hewitt Memorial Award recipient, Dan Rusanowsky. Rusanowsky.
Wow. How are the greatest fans in the world doing? It's really been an amazing journey this week, but I have to tell you that it's a compendium of over 30 years of working with all of you to create that picture in your minds to get you excited about the San Jose Sharks and the National Hockey League. I'd like to say that today I come in the spirit of Thanksgiving. I'm very, very proud to be honored by the Hockey Hall of Fame and by the NHL Broadcasters Association committee that selected me for the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award, named in honor of the man who invented the first way to call a hockey game way back in the 1920s. I'm also filled with a great deal of gratitude for so many different people. My family, who encouraged me to reach out for my dreams, who also encouraged and supported my goals to get a good education and to be prepared for life, regardless of what the journey brought. I also want to thank my wonderful wife, Karen, my biggest fan and my biggest supporter. I can tell you that I wouldn't be here without her, but most importantly, after this is all over, she's definitely going to bring me back to earth. So that'll be a good thing to do. You know, it's kind of funny. I'm looking back at the journey. My hockey journey began way back in 1971 when I went to my first National Hockey League game. My uncle took me to a game, and it was the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Isn't it interesting that the Pittsburgh Penguins would be the first team that I saw? And of course, in 2016, I would call the Stanley Cup final between the Sharks and the Penguins, and I'm looking forward to going back there. Playing in that game for the Rangers that night was Pete Stemkowski, who a couple of decades later would be one of my great color commentators that I've shared over the years. And that brings me to so many great colleagues that I've had. Randy Hahn, great play-by-play announcer. And of course, so many different color analysts, beginning with the great Dennis Hull, one of the funnier guys I've known in the game of hockey that first year. Of course, Stemmer, who I mentioned, and Chris Collins, who's here today, and also Jamie Baker, Drew Remenda, Brett Hedican, Scott Hannon, and of course, the man who was with me that night when Barclay Goodrow scored that goal, Mark Smith, was doing the color commentary with me that evening. I'd also like to shout out another great distinguished broadcaster in the audience today, and that's Joe Starkey, the first television voice of the Sharks, 49ers, Seals. Joe was a great mentor in those early years, along with people like Gene Hart and Pat Foley, and other great broadcasters like Fred Cusick and Bob Wilson, and so many others, Jim Robson, so many other great people who mentored me and tried to encourage me to be better. I thank the New Haven Nighthawks of the American Hockey League. Those wonderful 5 years that I spent there, people like Roy Malacher and Henry Bradbury and Pat Hickey and so many different people, Bob Esposito, they helped mold me into becoming a better broadcaster. And of course, my time at St. Lawrence University, so many great people there. But most of all, I have a couple of other people that deserve a great bit of praise. All of the players that I've ever worked with, from the people that are representing the team on the ice today and the San Jose Sharks of today, to one of the greatest players of all time, who was so great to have him here, Patrick Marleau. Thank you. I've had the great pleasure of being able to work with fantastic general managers, from Jack Ferreira to Dean Lombardi to Doug Wilson and now to Mike Greer. And I can tell you that that's all possible because of the greatest ownership in the world that currently is being held by Hasso Plattner and his stewardship. Without Hasso, we wouldn't be here, and we really owe him a lot. We've had some magical moments. I've called the names of some great plays and great players. Domfus, Nolan, Marleau, Nabokov, the Cup final in 2016. And all I can tell you is that this journey is really special. Without your imagination, you complete the sentences that I give you and create that magical picture that I found when I first tuned into a game on the radio. And with that, certainly, that's what we have to look forward to. A lot more magical moments and a return to where the Sharks need to be in the franchise, and I want to be there when it happens. My thanks also to the Montreal Canadiens for giving us the time to put together this ceremony. And with that in mind, we have a hockey game to play, and I've got a game to call, and we're looking forward to it. So God bless you. Thank you. I love all of you.
At this time, on behalf of the Sharks organization, Jonathan Becker, Mike Greer, and Patrick Marleau will present Dan with an original custom caricature artwork created by artist Frankie Galasso, highlighting 10 of Dan's most memorable Sharks moments. Once again, congratulations to Dan Rusanowsky, the 2023 Foster Hewitt Memorial Award recipient. And thank you on behalf of Sharks fans everywhere.
As everybody is starting to now go off the ice, you heard Danny